Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to ask the question, is DeepSeek better than ChatGPT? In order to do so, here we are in both ChatGPT and DeepSeek to just do a little bit of a comparison and see how they're similar and how they are different. So in terms of how they are similar, you can see here that they look almost identical in terms of their layout. On the left-hand side, you have all of the various chats that you can start with either ChatGPT or DeepSeek. I've only used DeepSeek for a little bit, so I only have one chat that I have set up here, but it is essentially the same thing. You got your three buttons, you've got your topics, topic names, and you can go through each of them. You can rename them, you can delete them. So the main thing that I can notice from playing around with DeepSeek for a little bit is one of the things that it does, which is unique, is it will clue you into the sort of logic that the AI is using to try to understand what it is that you are telling it. So after you ask a question or you give it some information to think about, then it will essentially process that in a way where you can actually read the way that it is interpreting what you're saying. And so you can follow along and have a better sense of how it is understanding what it is that you're describing. It's easier in this way than to refine your prompts and have a more in-depth conversation with the platform. Whereas with ChatGPT, you're not necessarily privy to the way that it's processing your comments and questions. It just responds. And then as far as the free version goes, you get usually some basic responses from the latest ChatGPT model, but then eventually they put you down to the previous model if you're on the free version. With DeepSeek, it looks like you have a little bit more leeway in terms of the more advanced thought process that the AI is using to interpret what you're saying. And that seems to be more or less what the conversation around DeepSeek is compared to ChatGPT. I would say that having spent some time with it, I am really quite impressed. I like the way that I can follow along with how DeepSeek is understanding what I'm saying. I think that this is a really nice way of being able to understand how DeepSeek is thinking about what you're saying. And then from there, the responses can really get quite inventive. I thought it was really quite neat the way that DeepSeek was responding to some of the things that I was saying. It's, I would say, very creative and very even humorous. There's a kind of almost humanity to it. But, this is not to say that ChatGPT doesn't have unique responses as well, because it can be quite humorous and, it offers some very interesting insights that kind of have what you might describe as the warmth of humanity. DeepSeek has a similar way of speaking to you, of responding to you, and that's really quite interesting. So, I haven't really spent too much time again with DeepSeek compared to ChatGPT, but I would say that in terms of comparisons, it's hard to say whether DeepSeek is better, but I would say that it is very impressive and the responses are very snappy and intuitive and interesting. So it's hard to sort of say, is it better? It's definitely competitive. It is potentially arguably better. I would have to spend some more time with it to really be able to say for sure. But I would say that just from the basic interface and the responses, it really is quite competitive with ChatGPT. And that's all there is to it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment and like and subscribe for more helpful tips.